Like, I was at IHOP yesterday. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Cat Fob Vlogs, and today we are going to talk about my 35-week pregnancy update. So if you're new here, make sure you go and catch up on my channel. I have been recording my pregnancy videos for quite some time now, and make sure you go catch up and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy these videos. And comment below and let me know if you have any questions for me, and I'd be glad to answer those. So we're going to jump right into it. The first question is weight gain. So I have been consistently gaining 2 pounds a week for several weeks now. So we are at 31 pounds total weight gain. Maternity clothes, I am definitely wearing maternity clothes, of course, but I will say they are really getting too small. I have some maternity clothes that no longer fit me. I feel like my maternity leggings even are starting to not really fit over my bump as well, and I'm pulling them up. The next question is stretch marks. I do not have stretch marks. I'm so grateful. I give all the glory to my genetics because I have done nothing extra to prevent stretch marks. However, I do try to maintain a healthy diet for the most part, and I drink a ton of water. So if you are wondering what could maybe be helping that, I think just like staying hydrated and eating healthy, eating your vegetables and fruits and proteins and things like that, making sure you're getting omegas and all of that. And plus I take a really good prenatal. And I've shared the prenatals that I take before in my videos, but they're the Rainbow Light prenatals, and I get them the multivitamin and the omega duo from Target, and it's about $20. So I really liked those. They've been really good, and I think they've really helped my hair grow because I have had this much root. So my hair has grown that much in pregnancy so far. That's a lot of inches. So I'm really impressed with that. So symptoms, a lot of them are still the same, so I'm just going to run through them and I'll kind of go in detail about the ones that are kind of new. So of course it's still hard for me to catch my breath, indigestion. I'm tired, especially by like 8 o'clock. I'm just like ready to lay down. Peeing a lot, of course, because that's what you do in pregnancy is pee all the time. Still having tightening in my lower belly, which is actually kind of more all over now. And then I have an achy back. It's not all the time. Sometimes my back feels great, but there are days where I just have to rest and let my body kind of recuperate. And then there are days where I don't stop and I feel great and I can do the laundry and fold it and do the floors and run errands and just do everything. But like yesterday, I was pretty much down. I didn't do anything. So hunger, I've definitely been hungrier. I've had a lot of insomnia lately. Last night I got up after going to bed and started sewing for like another hour, and then I went to bed around midnight. And before I went to bed, I had a couple bites of cheesecake and a swig of juice, and then I went to bed, and that was it. So I know that's terrible, but my sister was in town and she made us a cheesecake, and it's so good. So I took a couple bites of it. I didn't want to eat too much of it. But I am actually more hungry for protein this week. Last week I was craving sweets really bad, but now things have kind of like calmed down and I'm really just craving like a normal diet. But I am thirsty. I'm definitely keeping up with that. I'm having hot flashes. I used to have these more in the beginning of pregnancy, but there have been days where I will get up for the day and just have to go take a shower to just like kind of refresh myself. And I have this little eye mask that I keep in my fridge that has these little cooling beads in it. And there have been a couple days this week that I have gotten that out and put it on my forehead and just laid on the couch with it because I'm just like getting really hot. Um, so that's kind of fun, but I'm sure that it's just hormonal. Um, it is getting really hard to roll over and get in and out of bed. I will have to do some clips of the current situation soon and share those with you. I'll probably do those in a separate video. I thought about doing like a little series of things that are hard to do in pregnancy as a separate video because there's more than a few things now. So um, be looking for that video because I have a few videos that I'm going to be recording that'll be pregnancy related. So definitely check that out. And I'm still farting all the time. And like I was at IHOP yesterday and I'm just like eating my omelet and it just comes out. It's just like nobody heard it, but it's just like it's just I'm farting. And I'm definitely congested still, and I'm still having the lightning crotch, which if you don't know what that is, it just means that the baby is hitting your cervix and it sends like these nerve impulses that kind of like shock you, and it feels like pins and needles in your vagina and it's not comfortable. And I'm still getting that every single day, and it happens a lot. So that means that, you know, things are happening. And I'm feeling a lot more heaviness from the baby just being so low. Still, you know, bending and stuff is really hard. And this week, a couple nights ago, I was snoring so much that my husband had to go sleep on the couch because he just couldn't do it. So I feel really bad because he was really sweet about it, but I felt bad because he hates sleeping on the couch, and I felt like I should sleep on the couch, but I'm so uncomfortable on the couch too that he was like, no, 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 you shouldn't sleep on the couch. You're pregnant. And so I just felt so bad. But last night he was back in our bed. I guess I didn't snore. Maybe because I went to bed after he did, so he didn't have to listen to me asleep. I've been having like kind of like dull, achy cramps, like period like cramps. And after my appointment, for like a couple days after, I was feeling that again at night. And then it seems like that's kind of like the trend now is kind of having these like period like cramps at nighttime. And, you know, they go away and they don't last all day, but I've definitely been having some more painful tightening and cramping. This morning I puked up my breakfast, and I haven't puked in a while. It just happens sometimes. I'm not sure why, but that's not fun because then I have to eat breakfast again. But I'm pretty sure I only puked because I brushed my teeth, and for some reason, sometimes when I brush my teeth, it just like gags me and I cannot help it, and I puke. So that was fun. And then another symptom is I've just been feeling kind of yucky this week. I just feel different. I just feel like kind of nauseous again almost. Like I think my hormones are just really picking up and things are really happening in my body. Like my body is preparing for this baby to come out, and I'm just starting to feel like just really yuck. Like last night my husband came home from work and he really wanted to eat IHOP. He loves IHOP. And I was craving an omelet. So we went, and I was just sitting there just like ready to get home because I just felt just kind of lightheaded and just yuck. Like not necessarily lightheaded, but like, I don't know. I just felt like crap. I don't even know how to explain it. Um, so yeah, I'm sure that that's fine. It's probably just hormones. Nothing new is making me sick. Everything's pretty much the same. The things that I'm missing are still the same. I'm missing, you know, some of the foods I used to eat, taking deep breaths, things like that, sleep, being able to sleep on my stomach. So, moments this week, I have had my doctor's appointment Tuesday. It's now Friday. My doctor's appointment went really well, so I'll go ahead and go in detail about that. So, the first thing that I did at my doctor's appointment was go to the ultrasound, and baby girl is doing great. And they checked my fluid levels and they checked her weight and just like checked her heart and some of her organs and things like that, just to make sure everything was still going well. Checked her heart rate and she was doing great, great, great. So all my fluids are great. She's happy and healthy in there. She is head down, which is so good and exciting, which I knew she was, but I was just really, really excited to get that confirmation, because we're getting really close to labor and delivery, and I plan to have a natural vaginal birth, and I just really wanted to make sure that she was in position because I really don't want a C-section, and I don't want to have to get her flipped or anything either. So so relieved that she's head down. The ultrasound tech had a hard time getting pictures of her face because she is so low. So baby girl has dropped really, really low this week, and so yeah, that's why I'm having all the lightning crotch, because baby girl is down there. So I'll show you kind of what they said about where she is in my belly. So basically her head is down and her back is here on my right side, and her butt is what I'm feeling up here, and then her little legs and arms is what's kicking me out here. So she's down, head down, and she's in like fetal position, and she's just like kicking me, and I feel knees and elbows and legs all across here, and I think that she's just running out of room. And honestly, I think she's going to be long because she's already taken up that much space, and I'm just so excited to see what her measurements will be when she's born. But she's doing good, and she weighs 5 pounds and 10 ounces right now, which now she probably weighs a little bit more than that since I had that done on Tuesday. So my doctor said that that's actually a very average weight. 5 to 6 pounds for this gestation is pretty normal, and that if I go full term, she'll be around 8 pounds, which to me is not a huge baby. I'm not afraid to give birth to an 8-pound baby. I know some people think that's like a giant baby, but to me it's not. I was a 10-pound baby. So honestly, I don't think I'm going to make it to 39, 40 weeks. We'll talk about that in a second. So that was fun to see her. In the ultrasound picture that I'll share with you, she has big lips like me, which big lips run on both sides of our family. So I have figured she would have some big little juicy lips, and I'm just so excited to see her. And she had some cute little cheeks. We can see like a little bit of her face, but for the most part, it was really hard to get a good picture of her face. But we did see that one of her feet was like tucked up under her butt, and she had like her hands up under her chin, and she was just being so cute. So anyway, they can't check the length because it's not very accurate to do that on ultrasound. So that was pretty much the ultrasound. My sister and my husband were there, and it was really fun. And her heart rate was good. Everything was great. So then I went up to my doctor's appointment, and she checked my cervix and did the GBS test, which the GBS is that group B strep test, and it's just a bacteria that some women carry naturally, and it can change from pregnancy to pregnancy, but it is harmful to baby, so they want you to get antibiotics before you give birth vaginally if you're positive for it. So my doctor did have to test me for that. And let me just tell you, so I walked in, and the nurse the nurse walked me back after she checked my blood pressure, my weight, and everything, and she sent me into the room and she said, okay, bottoms off and leave everything else on. So I said, okay. And I just took my pants and my boots off and my underwear, and I was just sitting on the table with my butt hanging out, and my sister and my husband are there, and we're all just like, whatever. And my doctor walks in and she's like, we have sheets, you know. And I was like, well, the nurse didn't tell me. So I was like sitting there with my butt crack hanging out when she opened the door, and I'm like, somebody's husband could have walked by and probably saw my butt crack. So I felt like an idiot, but I didn't know that there was a sheet, and the nurse didn't tell me. So my doctor gave me the sheet and laughed at me and like put it over my legs, but I felt really embarrassed. So I was like, whatever, no shame. I'm having a baby. So who cares at this point, right? So so she checked my cervix and did the GBS test. The GBS test, to be honest with you, if you've never had it done before, if you're a first time mom, I'm just going to tell you that things are awkward because you have never had it done, but it's really all not that bad. I did not find it to be super painful or uncomfortable. The GBS test is just a like cotton swab. It is awkward, and the doctor was like trying to talk to me, and she swabs your vagina and she also swabs like your rectal area. And she has to kind of like leave it there for a minute. So she's just like tickling your butthole with this little Q-tip, and you're just sitting there like trying to answer her questions. And I couldn't focus on what she was trying to say. I was just like, like, when are you gonna be done doing this weird stuff? And so it wasn't like painful or anything. It was just awkward, especially when your doctor's like talking to you, and to them it's all just routine, whatever. But to me, I was just like, this is so awkward. So there was like a TV mounted on the wall, and I was just kind of like looking at that and just like focusing on it. And then she was like, okay, now we're gonna check your cervix. And she luckily used this gel stuff, so things were not uncomfortable. And they just put like a couple fingers up there, and they like sweep around in your vagina and check your cervix for any dilation and effacement. And it was uncomfortable. Like, it was not like fun. And at first I was like, oh, I don't like this. But then I was like, my sister was there, and she was like, just breathe, you're fine. Like, it's gonna be over soon. And I took a deep breath and I let it out, and she was done checking my cervix. So just, if you haven't had it done yet and you're anticipating it, just take a deep breath when they check your cervix, and by the time your breath is out, she's going to be finished. Like, it doesn't take that long. It is not super comfortable, but it's not like the worst. I mean, it's pregnancy, so your day-to-day discomforts are just as bad. So so that was that. She checked my cervix, and she said that I am dilating. So she said I wasn't quite a 1 yet, but she said I am opening up and things are progressing, and the baby girl is really low. So she said, do not wait too long to register for the hospital. She said, maybe do it today before you leave, but don't wait until after next week. So I think my doctor thinks a couple weeks, and we're going to be probably on our way to the labor and delivery. My doctor does not assume or ever say anything like that. So I feel like she thinks that the baby's going to come a little earlier than the due date. So I'm just crossing my fingers that she comes at the time that she's ready. I'm not trying to induce anything. I know that it's best for baby to stay in as long as possible, but I am excited that my body is preparing and doing things already to progress and prepare for a natural vaginal birth, because that's what I want. And if she's ready to come out at 37 or 38 weeks, then I'm not going to stop it. And there's really nothing I can do to stop it. And at that point, after 36 weeks, your doctor's really not going to stop it. And the likelihood of them having to stay in the NICU is very slim. So I'm just happy that we're finally to that place where if she was born now, she would probably be fine and breathing good on her own. And now that we know that she's about 5 pounds, 10 ounces, she'd be around 6 pounds by the time she's born, I believe, and at least have some good weight on her. So I'm really pleased with my doctor's appointment and everything. And so that was that. So movement, she's moving a lot. She's still doing great. And I already told you like where she's at. So food cravings, they've definitely died down. I've already kind of talked about that. Labor signs, so we'll recap over some of the symptoms I have, but I think my labor signs are the period-like cramps that I've been having. I noticed this morning my hips were hurting really bad last night, and they've been hurting, but they were hurting really bad last night. And this morning I looked at my hips and I really feel like they like got a lot wider. So that's weird, but I think that could be like a sign that things are opening up more. Lightening, of course, the lightening crotch dilation, tightening, and the Braxton Hicks type stuff, heaviness, and the fact that my belly has dropped even more this week. I think baby girl is pretty much as low as she's gonna get before she comes out. So I'm thinking that I will have a pretty quick birth because of it. That's what people have been telling me from their experience. So my belly button is still in, my wedding rings are still on. Okay, so the next question is my mood. So basically I'm just tired all the time, super exhausted. I think that's pretty normal at this stage. I'm just slowing down, but I still have things that I want to get done, so I push myself, and then the next day I'm like worn out and have to take a nap. So things that I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to my doctor's appointment. I'm going to do that on Wednesday, the day after Christmas, to see if I've progressed anymore. She's going to tell me the results of my GBS test. Hopefully it's negative, and she will also be checking my cervix. Tonight we're going to have dinner with a friend that lives out of town, so I'm super excited about that. And then we're going to also have Christmas dinner on Tuesday at our house this year. I think we're going to have like a ham and a turkey and some like country food, because I'm just too pregnant to travel. All of our family lives like 3 hours away, so we're not going anywhere. And then we are going to be finalizing the nursery. My husband is actually going to be off work after today. He is going to be off for the rest of the year. So that means he can finally finish the things that he has left on the nursery. And we ordered the lighting, the chandelier. So he's going to put that up as soon as it gets here, which should be soon. And, I'm also going to be sewing some more things for baby, and I'm just looking forward to having my husband's help and just spending these last weeks with him, just me and him without the baby, and preparing for baby is going to be really special. So I'm super excited about that. And I said that I was excited about eating, which is true. So I'm also going to answer some questions. There was a couple comments on my videos about these questions, so I'm going to go ahead and answer those for you. Somebody asked me, where do I work? I actually do not work. I will be a stay-at-home mom. I actually did go to college for kinesiology, which is basically the study of the body and how it moves. And I have worked in management for gyms and ran fitness studios and things like that, and done group fitness classes, management for group fitness, and I've also worked in just personal training. So my background is actually health and fitness, and I know that that's surprising because I talked about eating cheesecake, but it's all about balance. I will probably go back to work one day, but we are in baby making mode, and we're going to have more kids hopefully. So we just decided before we even got married that I would stay home with our kids if we could make it happen. So that is what we are going to do, and we'll see how that goes, and maybe one day I will work again, but we'll see. So how many kids do you want to have? We think maybe like 3, but we're gonna have this one and see how that goes first. And then honestly, this was such a hard thing for us. It took us a year and a half to get pregnant. So for us, it's kind of like, well, we're just going to take as many as we can really get because we were blessed to finally get pregnant with this one. So it'll be nice to get pregnant again and hopefully again. But I am 28 and my husband is 30. So we'll probably just have a few and that'll be good for us. My maternity photos, are you going to share those? I am going to share them. I've been having a lot of problems with my photographer. She sent me a couple links so that I could see my photos, and I think she accidentally sent me the digitals and I didn't pay for them. So I'm actually really kind of nervous because I don't know if I'm allowed to use them or not. I mean, I have them, but I'm trying to be respectful to her. We are going to do our newborns with her as well. So I don't know how there was a mix-up, but I'm just kind of waiting on her response to see what she would prefer me to do, because they're sitting on my laptop downloaded. She had a glitch in her system and accidentally sent me the photos, and I don't want to use them without her permission, so I'm just waiting on that. So I will be doing more pregnancy struggle clips. I did talk about that. And then also someone asked me if I could do a pregnancy morning and nighttime routine. So I don't have like a strict routine, but I will definitely record it. If that's something that you want to see, please comment below and let me know. I thought about doing like a pregnancy pamper routine because every once in a while I'll self-tan and do like a face mask and do like my feed and things like that because I'm on a budget and I do like to still pamper myself even though I'm pregnant, as hard as it is to do yourself when you're pregnant. So maybe it'll be like more of a struggle thing, but I would love to share the things that I do to kind of make myself feel beautiful and pampered while I'm pregnant. So I'll probably do a video about that soon. And then I will definitely do more videos of her movements. It's just really hard to capture those on camera. So I'll try my best to get some more for the next video. All right, so now I'm just gonna show you a couple things that I have made for the baby and some things that my sister brought me while she was in town. So my sister, most of my family lives in Texas, and my sister came with a truck full of stuff for me from my family, my mom and my sister-in-law, and some things that my sister got me. They brought a big box of baby stuff. They brought me a diaper genie and some clothes and shoes and hats. If you didn't know, my sister-in-law, she has a little girl, so I've been getting a lot of hand-me-downs from her, which has been so helpful because it's kept us from having to buy a lot for baby girl. She's got her foot right here, just kicking me so bad. So when I do the nursery tour, I'll show you all that stuff, but that was really sweet of her to bring that. So I'm going to show you also what my sister brought me. She brought me this little set that we used to play with when we were little. It's a little tea set. So it has like these little cups and plates, and it has this cute little floral pattern. And there's like all these little pieces. There's a whole set. Of course, I'm not going to show you every little piece, but I can't wait to see Adeline play with this. Me and my sister played with this all the time, and it's just so special to me to have something from childhood for her, because I really don't have a lot of things from childhood. And so I did tell you last week that I'd ordered some new fabric from Amazon, and it came in. So I'm not going to show you until I'm finished with what I'm making, but I am going to make a whole set out of this fabric. I'm going to make her a gown, pants, hat, and then with any leftovers, I might make something for a friend of mine that has a little girl. And then I just got this really pretty green, and these are like really soft. It's called poly brushed jersey knit, and it's really, really soft. It feels kind of like those LuLaRoe leggings. So it's a really good fabric, and I liked this just like plain green color. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet, but I might just make her more gowns. I don't know. I probably need to look at some more patterns. And now that I know that baby is a pretty average size baby, I do think she will be in newborn size for a little bit. So, and then I finally made her baby blanket with the fabrics that I was showing you. I didn't do the silk binding like I talked about doing on the sides because I really ended up liking how this turned out like this. So this is the baby blanket that I made, and I did like a scalloped edge on the edge there, and a little bit of the fur just kind of pokes out, and I just think that looks so cute. And then of course I did some iron-on letters for her name. It just says Addie Mae. That's her shortened name. Her name is Adeline Mae. And if you didn't know that her name was Adeline Mae, there it is. And this is a really huge blanket. This is like a throw blanket size. I wanted to make a really big one because I had the fabric and I didn't really have anything else I was going to do with this fabric, but also because I like having a giant blanket that I can lay out on the floor for a new time or whatever. It's just going to be really handy, something that she can use for a long time, and it'll fit across her crib. So that is something that she can use for a long time. That is everything I wanted to show you today. So we're going to just go ahead and show you the bone. Alrighty, so that is that, and I hope you stay tuned for next week's update. I can't wait to see if we have progressed from this week. I feel like things have definitely progressed, and I also feel like I have the pregnancy puff going on. My nose feels puffier, my lips feel puffier, my face, my hands, my feet, everything just feels puff. So I think that means things are getting serious. I just feel like I'm starting to retain a little bit more water than normal, and that's new. So we'll see what next week brings. I hope you stay tuned on my channel for these updates, and I will see you next time.